not a way to introduce this video. All right, this is part two. I don't know what happened. I know that for whatever the reason, my video was showing reconnecting, which is weird because I'm indoors, I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and I don't know for whatever the reason why it decided to freeze. Shout out to the novice for giving me a heads up. I hope everybody jumps back on board. But as I mentioned a minute ago, or in the previous video, I should say, 11 a.m. podcast in 50 minutes is going to be a good one. It's going to be jam-packed, a lot going on. Busy sports week 2, National Championship tonight, NBA's final week. Major League Baseball, you have a rematch of the World Series, which I don't like too soon. I wish I could have played this series at least maybe before the All-Star break. All right, cool. Yeah, you know what's weird, the novice? When I saw that it was reconnecting, I didn't understand why. I'm home, Wi-Fi, and yeah, I noticed that people then had left the room. I saw it at 0 for like a good 2 minutes. And then thanks to your text, I said, you know what, let me just hang up and restart. So that's the reason, and I appreciate that because I just would have kept on going and nothing would have happened. But yeah, so you have one more time. National Championship, final week NBA, World Series rematch, the Masters on Thursday. A busy week, and I'm here for it. So hopefully you guys and gals will join me in 49 minutes as I get set to put forth another live podcast. Obviously, I'll take your questions, comments, suggestions after I complete the podcast, which will be roughly an hour. So if you could stick around, or even if you leave a comment, I'll post it. You want to come back at 12 or sometime after, you could do that, which would be fantastic. And Pat McAfee is back in WWE. Oh, he's not fighting, is he? Pat McAfee is back in WWE. The novice, do you watch McAfee? I do not watch him. Now we know was a punter on the Indianapolis Colts, and obviously is one of the top personalities out there. That's all right. I'm coming for him. No, he's a bad guy now, and yes, I watch every day. Oh, he's a bad guy. Wow. I didn't realize he was in the WWE. That's how much I'm disconnected with that. And you watch every day? Yeah, 12 o'clock. Yeah, it's funny. There's not many. One. What is happening? Welcome. Greetings. I'm good. I'm good. It's a Monday. It's sunny. You already know. New York City. A little chilly, but it's all right. It's all good. Yeah, I haven't watched McAfee. I mean, I've seen a couple of the interviews. I know last year when LeBron was in studio, I watched that. And, oh, listen, is he, let me get a good sports reference. Is he Dick Shapp? He is not. And yeah, I had to start over, Miles. Yeah, good morning to you, Juan. Yeah, it's nice though, right? Sun, as long as the sun is out. If it's cloudy, rainy, Mother Nature could keep that. But no complaints here. What's the topic? Well, we're just talking about McAfee. I know the novice came up and had mentioned him about being in WWE. He's a bad guy, but I was asking him if he watches him. He says he watches every day. And then in the grand scheme of things, I'll watch a bunch of clips on YouTube, whether it's Dan Patrick, Rich Eisen. I know I'm showing my age. There's not a lot of YouTubers that are out there that I follow or that I guess are on my radar. Yeah, I don't want. Do you watch Pat McAfee? I don't, and it's nothing personal towards him. Yeah, and even like a lot of the former athlete stuff, like I like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson Although, and obviously they got great guests sometimes. No, I hear you. Yeah, I watch all the smoke, but even then, it's like, yeah, I don't want to make this a thing about me versus them. And please, I'm this big compared to they are. But yeah, I just, there's like so many interviews that I watch with them, and I get it. They're not, and please, I'm not coming from a journalistic standpoint either when I talk about McAfee. But the thing is, I'm a fan of sports and a fan of the history of sports. And if I had any former athlete on, Juan, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I know, like, if I'm sitting in a room with these guys, like, I'll never forget, did anybody watch All the Smoke with Kevin Garnett? And they did that, I think, was it during the All-Star break a few years ago? And there was like 3 or 4 things they didn't even bring up. They didn't even ask. And I get it. They're players. McAfee, not all that. Oh, you did see it? Yeah, it's just like there were things that they could have asked that they didn't really get into. And I understand players aren't going to ask other players about stuff that's happened to them, especially on the court, because there's a brotherhood there. They're not trying to break that. And that I understand too. But the reason why they had these guys on, yeah, I can understand to a certain extent it's for them, but it's for the fans. The fans want to know. Livestock, yes. Rich Eisen, McAfee, JAYREELZ, the sports talk for the day. Anonymous, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's one of those things where, and I'm just going to use the Kevin Garnett interview, for example. Of course, they didn't bring up, and you knew as players they wouldn't, but all they had to do was ask in this way, KG, what you said to Carmelo at Madison Square Garden, was that true? And we all know what he's going to refer to if you watch the interview, but that wasn't even brought up. And again, players aren't going to do that. They're not going to ask other players about, it's like, nah, that stays on the court or that stays in a locker room, whatever. No. Again, you do the show for the fans. That's it. End of story. He is risen. Am I Christian? I am not livestock, but that doesn't mean that I am not spiritual or don't believe there's a higher power or anything like that. So, but I appreciate you stopping by. Yes, all about good vibes, good energy, good spirit. But yeah, and some of the other interviews, and I know that there's a lot on YouTube, especially like the YouTubers, such as, I don't know if anybody knows who, and I haven't seen him post anything, although I don't follow him. And I know he's going to post a lot now, is that guy, what's his name? Not Kofi. Jeez, what is his name? I haven't seen him in a minute. He does a lot of basketball content. No, I don't follow religion, livestock. I can't think of this guy's name now. I gotta go back. Let me see. NBA YouTubers. That's it. Yeah, Kenny for real. Kenny Beecham. That's the guy. And I see a couple others here that I gotta check out. Yeah, like those guys, and they got a ton of followers. Yes, you can, livestock. I appreciate that. Yeah, Kenny for real that's his name. I'm sorry, but when you're talking a lot about the analytics and you're not giving me full analysis, like, what are you giving me? Like, he'll break down a game, let's say Spurs Nuggets, I'll just throw those out, and he'll talk about, oh, well, Doncic, the way he rolled, the way they pick and roll, and the way, the high screens, this and that. It's like, all right, that's cool, whatever, but no, we want to hear analysis. And we want to hear, no, just no fluff. He gets too much into the game in that regard. What we want to know is how a team performed, how a player performed, how they delivered, how they didn't deliver, etc. So, for instance, at 11 o'clock in 40 minutes, I'm going to break down the semifinal games of the Final Four. And yeah, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Not that I'm going to pick on any players, but yeah, you don't want to hear me talk about, oh, wow, Michigan, they blew out Arizona, and wow, they look like they're going to be a national champion. I mean, that's boring. And on top of that, if I didn't come with any type of critiques or praise or whatever, then it's going to be as bland as unseasoned food, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, and it just, I don't know. And I appreciate you guys, Juan, and obviously the novice, because yeah, I'm trying to carve that space out for me here and in due time to get guests where I'm going to be real with them, with my questions, analysis, etc. My morning starts with Unsportsmanlike. Oh, all right. Skip, get on First Take now. Go straight to YouTube. The novice, what do you think about First Take? I got to get your opinion on that. All right, Livestock. Yeah, Lord, I pray this kind soul. I appreciate that, Livestock. Thank you. Amen. Yes. Thank you for that. And to you too, and for everybody else out there as well. Yeah, that's interesting, the novice. Yeah, the more what I get into, I'll do Eisen, Patrick. Yeah, I don't listen to Colin Cowherd. To me, he's too much of a blowhard. Like, he says things that are just like, seriously? Yeah, First Take, I don't watch. As a matter of fact, I know I've talked about him on my live streams and podcasts, but yeah, I'm starting. I can't say I'm starting. I'm losing respect for Stephen A. I feel like he got the big payday. I actually like Stephen A, but I don't like the show when it's not football season. Oh yeah, that. Please, they could be in the middle of a. Oh wait, let me think about that. Did they start off? Yeah, you see, because I don't watch First Take. After the World Series last year, that Game 7, which was a Saturday night, and of course, First Take is on Monday, you know they started with the NFL. Like, they probably put that at the end of which is a disgrace. Because that Game 7, Dodgers-Blue Jays, was one of the top 3 sporting events of the year. The NFL couldn't even come anything close to that game. But they're going to start with the NFL. I mean, it's disgusting. I hate it. I've lost respect for Stephen A in this regard. I almost feel like because he got the bag, the real bag, and it's not to say he was crying broke prior to that, but it's almost as if like he's just saying stuff to say stuff. Like, does he really mean some of the things that he says? And not only that, but a lot of it's vanilla. Oh, I see Boston as a real contender here with Tatum back. Oh, well, tell me something I don't know. Tell me something that's going to, and I understand not everything you're going to say is going to be earth-shattering. It's going to move the needle, but like some of the things he says, like I'll go on the ESPN website and I'll have the clips from First Take. And some of the things he says is just like, I can already see it now. Today he's going to come out and probably say something along the lines like, oh, Gino Auriemma was wrong for what he did to Dawn Staley on Friday night. No, duh! Shocker! Which I'm going to talk about too, but I'm not going to say like, oh, what he did was wrong. No, I'm going to get into Gino Auriemma. I understand he needs access. I understand he's not going to, and I get it that he has his moments where he crucifies people, but it's just, You're welcome. Thanks for letting me spend my morning. Pray to you. See you later. All right, Livestock, thank you. But, yeah, Stephen A is just, one day, oh, the Knicks are going to the championship. Oh, the Knicks. Oh, the Knicks have no shot. Which one is it? Orange and blue skies. Oh. That's right with me. Hey, RH. 8 a.m. to noon is open to being taken over by a true sports analyst. Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. And it's not even just a matter of, how could I say this without, not to say I'm going to be offensive, but I just think that in this world and just with sports, I'm not going to talk about politics, whatever, but in this world we live in, yeah, we need more creators, personalities, whatever, that are going to speak not only their truth, but also bring personality. Like to me, Stephen A. just is like over the top with his yelling and screaming and holla at your boy. I mean, that's just whack. I don't know. And I understand part of it, that is him, but I think that's part of like the bag. It's almost as if ESPN has the puppet strings to be like, yeah, we want you to be over the top. Just be you. That's it. That's like me coming on here and yelling and screaming and acting a fool. And yeah, I'm going to tell like it is, tell you what I feel, good, bad, or indifferent. And even the teams that I can't stand, I got to give them credit. Maybe I'll throw a little cold water, but the cold water is going to be truthful. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of doing it. Like, for instance, can I shout out my guy, Keith McPherson? He doesn't know this, but he posted something. I love Keith. Love him to pieces. But he, and I've seen other Yankee fans, and Donavis, not trying to get on the Yankees right now, but the thing is, like, I hear the Yankee fans like going bananas off of this start. Before yesterday's game, I know they lost to the Marlins, but they won the series. 7-1, best Yankee start ever. Oh, something in the air. It's special. It's this, it's that. We're not even in tax day yet, and they're already talking about, oh, this is going to be a special year. Can we get to Memorial Day first before we could even gauge whether or not? And listen, and I said this all along. I think the Yankees have a big year. I almost picked them as an over. But deep in my crusty heart, I could not pick the Yankees at all, over or under. And I would never pick them as an under unless that number was 110. But yeah, like all these Yankee fans are just like all of a sudden like, oh, wow, this is it. I sense it. I smell it. This is going to be our year. What? Bro, we're not even at, we just finished Easter. I remember the Yankees, I think it was 2021, was it not? No, maybe it was 2018-19. The Yankees got off to such a start. I got to go back in the archives. If I go back to my podcast archives, they were, I believe their record was 53-18, and they were 61-23. I think it was 21. No, they were in the wild card game that year. I'd have to go back, and I talked about this on a podcast. They started 51-18 and 61-23. And I thought, oh, geez, is this the 98 Yankees all over again? And what happened? I mean, that's why I don't get into these fast starts unless it's the NFL. NFL is different because it's a short season. Thank you, Joe. I should be a singer? Ooh. Val! What's happening here? Make Kamala sober again? All right. Again, NFL is different. You start off 4-0, you're almost a quarter into the season. But the thing that just bothers me is that people get over the moon by hot starts and think that, oh, this is going to be a big year. True Yankee fans should be upset with the start. They should be undefeated. Rolling team. Are you really worried, Donavis? I mean, think about it. They were up 4-1 yesterday and they lost. And even though they had a rally in the ninth inning, but fell short. And the game in Seattle, yeah, they lost 2-1. But I just don't understand. I mean, look at me last year. The Mets in June were 45-24. They had the best record in the sport. I mentioned it, but did you see me? Oh, this is the year, this is it, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Never. And even 2 years ago, when they started off, what were they? 24-35. And they had the best record in the second half. I made a mention of it, But when he got into the playoffs, after Pete Alonso hit that home run against the Brewers in the Game 3 down 2-0 in the ninth inning, did I come out, oh, I feel it in the air. This team they're going to go to the World Series, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I don't say anything. And I don't know, maybe that's part of my jaded, cynical sports fan DNA, but I'm not going to celebrate best records in June, July, August, or September. I'm not going to celebrate division championships. I'm not going to celebrate a wild card series win, division series win, NL pennant to a certain degree, but even then, The old song, don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing, but take the swing out and put ring in. That's it. That's what it's about. My hairdo looks great. A lot of blokes can't pull that off. Oh, well, thank you. Joe M. Yes, Val. Patrick Waugh got fired. I'm going to talk about that on the podcast in a half hour, I promise. Today in sports, Phillies, Giants, Blackhawks, Sharks. Yeah, Giants. And look, and they won that first game against the Mets, and since then, oof. And last night, I know yesterday, that was a game 2-1 in the eighth inning, too, and the Mets scored 4. Drew! What do I think about Joe? Joe Adell. I don't think you're ever going to see that again. This guy robbed 3 home runs in one game. And the last one was a crazy one where he was over the wall. And then he got that picture, the guy from behind where he was pointing this. That was cool. Yeah, Joe Adell, what could you say? The guy was literally home run robbery. The novice, I'm worried because these losses add up and winning is a culture because all that's about winning. Yeah, exactly. And listen, I get it with fans. I get it that, the part of the, and especially baseball, it's such a long season, but the ebbs and flows and the peaks and valleys, you ride it out, and it's a thing where you don't know from one game to the next or 1 week to the next how this is all going to unfold. Unlike the NFL, because you already know, or even the NBA, if you start off, I'll say like 10-19, chances are you're not going to go on a run. Baseball, we've seen teams. The Nationals were 19-31. And what happened? They won a World Series that year. Or even look what the Mets did. They were 24-35. All right, they didn't win the whole thing. But if you ask me at 24-35, somebody would have said to you, you're going to go to a Game 6 of the NLCS? I'd be like, yeah, right. And look, they got there. Even the Tigers 2 years ago. And I understand they didn't win the World Series, but they ended up what? They were 31-11. Got into the postseason. Won. They got to a wild card. They lost, though, wait a minute. Yeah, they lost in the wild card to Cleveland, right? Because then Cleveland played. That was Kansas City Yankees. No, Detroit. Yeah, no, that was in the division series. Because Detroit swept Houston, and then they lost to Cleveland in 5. Bastien, what is happening? What is going on? Yes, it's been a while. How you been? How's things in Hong Kong? Yeah, I think Giants need more bats or players that can bat well. What does this guy say? The incredible overflowing. All right. Yeah, Val, your offense has definitely struggled. And the thing is, your team has a decent offense. It's not like you guys are from hunger. Rafael Devers is a good offensive player. Matt Chapman. Willie Adames. You guys got some bats. The Hong Lee, I think it is. Bob been commenting on my post and shorts. Yeah, I wonder where. Bio was in earlier. He was in the earlier chat, but I had to restart it. It froze. The novice, don't get me started about NFL Eagles win a Super Bowl and everybody will forget. Came out in the spring. Yeah, and you know what's weird? I saw an article the other day. I didn't read the whole thing about the disconnect between Jalen Hurts and the coaching staff, which I found a little surprising. Now, I haven't read the whole thing, but and it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Yeah, it's the novice. I know it's weird. I know the Eagles are so polarizing because, and a lot. I know their fan base, not you per se, but down there. Yeah, geez, I don't know what to make of that. And I got to read that article too. If I find that, I'll send that to you, Donovan. You probably read it. It was on ESPN. I've been studying. That's why I haven't been able to join the streams. I finally have time. Oh, all right, cool. How long was your spring break? And you're in college, right, Bastian? No, wait. No, you're not. I think you're 16, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Juan, welcome back. Yeah, Val. And Steph Curry had a great game last night. 26 minutes. He scored 29 points. Had a chance to win the game with a 3-pointer at the end, but missed. Yeah, you read it, Jeremy Fowler. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I got to get a better idea. I mean, I don't know why the Eagles, all that controversy wrapped up between Sirianni, Hurts, A.J. Brown, the fans, Sirianni getting after the fans a couple of years ago. Yeah, Curry did miss. Only got 1 week. Yeah, you're in high school. No, I remember. Well, I appreciate you hopping on board, Bastien. You know that. How's the weather? I'm sure it's got to be in the 80s. We've actually had nice weather in New York, just so you know. Last week was in the 80s for a couple of days. Reels, I think sometimes LeBron better than Jordan. I know, he had a big game last night, too. All right, I'm going to ask you why you say that one. Listen, for him to go almost post a triple-double at 41 years of age, and the guy's from another planet. Yeah, Howie Roseman. And no, Roseman makes great deals, too. Human and Rainey, I hear you. But, yeah, the thing is that, listen, yeah, you can't knock LeBron. I understand you're knocking for his flopping and some of the things that he does, but, I mean, the guy's just, when he leaves and he's gone, people are going to clamor for him. And to me, Jordan, nobody had his will. I did not see Bill Russell. Bill Russell was wired that way. Kobe was wired that way. But Jordan was just, he's Jordan. I mean, but no, I hear you. Listen, it's a good argument. These reporters and analysts need to talk about these so-called elite quarterbacks that can't win. Oh, and I'm all on top of that. Yeah, everybody, they want to puff out Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. I know I'm not in NFL mode. Let me think. Other big-time quarterbacks. Those are the two off the top of my head. Lamar Jackson. What do you think will happen to the Lakers without Luka in there? Oh, I mean, they're going to be cooked, Drew. Listen. They had won what? Before they lost to Oklahoma City and then they lost last night to Dallas. They had won 13 or 14 games. And I thought to myself, oh, man, maybe this team's peaking at the right time, or maybe they've already peaked too soon. Both of those guys are going to be out. They're done. There's no way. And how I look at it, too, and then Luka's going to go to Europe to go get this hamstring treated. Stem cell, anyone? Or platelet-rich plasma, anyone? But, yeah, I mean, they have no shot if both of those guys are out. If one of the two come back, that's fine. But even then, and the West is loaded. Jordan had Phil. LeBron never had a great coach. Jordan was getting cooked at that time. Yeah, you're right, Jordan had Phil. LeBron never had a great coach. Yeah, I mean, his IQ, listen, I'm telling you something that you guys already know about LeBron, but yeah, but Jordan, I listen, and I'm not a Bulls fan, whatever, but Jordan was just, he was also another from another planet. Islanders been struggling. Why is that, JAYREELZ? Oh, it's everything. Defensively, they haven't played well. Their Sorokin has not also played well either. The goaltender. Yeah, they got 4 games left, and they're on the outside looking in. Meanwhile, last week they had the 2 seed. Penguins went past them standing by, especially after that game last Monday. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm going to talk about the Islanders in the next hour. When do I think LeBron will retire? Probably, I think he's going to play one more year. Yeah, and here's the interesting thing, because the Lakers, obviously, I don't think he's coming back to the Lakers. And if I'm the Lakers, yeah, you got to say goodbye. You can't bring him back. You got Luka. He's your future. You're going to sell tickets anyway. So, yeah, he should just go back to Cleveland. Now, here's the thing. Can he play with James Harden? And I think he probably could, because it's like, hey, let him have the ball in his hands. But I think he's probably one more year, if you ask me, Bastian. After that, I mean, come on. The guy's going to be 42 years old. Not until December, but still. Why? You say 3 more years? And I say, I love MJ, but LeBron was a beast. No, he's definitely a beast. LeBron, 3 more years. Listen, the way he trains and the way he takes care of himself, I mean, is that out of the realm of possibility? I'd say no. But maybe he wants to wait for Bryce to get in the league. If he does, I mean, I don't know. Sharks lost to the Predators. Yeah, I know that was yeah, that was, and we talked about that the other day too, Val. Predators had that tough schedule. That game was on Saturday, and then they played the whatchamacallit, where he loves the game. Yeah. Yeah, no, but I would think he'd go to Cleveland. I mean, he's not going to the Knicks. I would think he's going to go back to the Cavaliers. Why not? I mean, to think, since he left, and this year will be the 10th anniversary of that. It's just crazy to think. This year is the 10th anniversary of the Cavs winning that NBA final. Yeah, it's hard to fathom how time flies. All right, let me see. All right, I'm going to sign off in a few minutes, guys. Knicks, be good. They fix finals, maybe. Happy to see you sober today. All right. Can I call you Maru? Good, Val. So, yeah, that's it. I remember you were sick, so you're feeling better? Good for you. And 100%? Awesome. Yeah, but if he's on the Knicks, yeah, I don't know. Would they expect him to do too much? Maybe. School alert? Uh-oh. The last man. Yeah, I was going to look up, hold on. Where is, right here. All right. Oh, you don't know one? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I get, if LeBron, obviously he's going to go someplace where they could win. Is it out of the realm of that possibility, the Knicks? No. And it's not like he's going to get, that's the other thing too. Like, how much money does he want? I mean, the guy has more money than anybody. And I get it that for 1 year, he's going to want to get paid whatever, at least $40 million. I don't know. And that's the thing too. Yeah, I don't know what the status is of that, because if he's not coming back to the Lakers, do the Lakers even keep Bronny? I don't know. Right. And if they release him, he's going to go where his dad's going. Unless they feel like he's going to be a player of some sort. I don't know. Draymond, I saw the play Warriors. What do you think, JAYREELZ? He did play well yesterday. Yeah, I know you almost got into it with what's caught last night? Tari Eason. And it's Draymond being Draymond. I mean, what are you going to do? That's the nature of his game. Yeah, nothing else here. All right. Yeah, let me start getting ready to sign off, people. Live podcast in 15 minutes. I appreciate you all. You know that. When Draymond not on, he picks up. Yeah. And the thing is, like, what does Draymond have left? No, Rockets to Spurs. Wow, would he go back to Miami? Oh, God, he goes to the Spurs. You know what? Then obviously he'd be a perfect Spur. How much money does he want, though? You talk about a guy that's bringing experience and all that. Oof. Juan, I appreciate you too, man. You know that. Thank you for being a follower, subscriber, hopping on board, all of it. I do, man. I really do. I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, the Spurs would be interesting. Rockets too, but the Heat. I know. Would he go back to Miami? Yeah, I tell you. Good discussion. I'm here when I get time at work. No, I hear that, man. Yeah, listen, I know you're busy. Anytime you carve out precious time out of your day to hop on board, truly grateful for all of you guys, and you as well. Bastien, take care. Need to head to bed. I know it's late over there. Yes, I'll be here Thursday. And also Wednesday too, but I know it's late. Wednesday at noon my time, but yes, Thursday for sure. Bastien, thank you. Draymond 36, Curry 38. Yep. Yes, Juan. Appreciate that, my man. Yeah, a lot of older players. And then I think Al Horford's coming back. Who knows about Porzingis? They are an old team for sure. All right, guys. So hopefully I'll see you in about 13 minutes. You know the deal. I'll talk sports for an hour. And then in the second hour, I'll get to the comments, questions. So even if you jump on board in the first 10, 15 minutes, definitely, please leave a comment. Come back in the 12 o'clock hour or 12 p.m. Eastern my time. And yeah, I'll follow up with any questions, comments at that time. Yes, Juan, thank you as always. So yeah, as I prepare these next 10 minutes, get my game face on. I mean, listen, it's already on, but yeah. So with that being said, school reels. Oh, did Porzingis play? Yeah, I didn't watch that game. I was on NBC too, by the way. I didn't see that though. But all right, guys, I'll see you in about 12 minutes. As always, thank you so much. See you in a few. Peace, love, and God bless. And until then,